Shalom to everybody. We'd like to thank Rav David Silva for sponsoring the Dvar Torah. It's Le'ilu Nishmat, his father, Eliezer ben Chaim Israel, and also his grandfather, Chaim Israel ben Yaakov, and both of them should have an aliyah in Gan Eden. I once heard a very interesting remark by Rabbi Sherki concerning the Parsha that there is in Bereshit, the sad, tragic story, the episode of Cain Vehevel, which has got relevance to the war that Am Yisrael is now going through and experiencing. The pasuk concerning Cain and Havel says as follows. It says that Vayakom Cain, that Cain got up, and what he did was that he killed Hevel. So the Midrash Rabbah on that pasuk says as follows: Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Hevel haya gibor mikain she'en tamud lomar vayakom ela melamed she'ya natun tachtav. Rabbi Yochanan is coming to explain what does this word vayakom, and he got up and he killed his brother. What does it add on to the narrative? What would we be missing if it didn't use the word yakom? It could have just said as that they were in the field and they were quarreling, and he said something to Hevel, and then what he did was he killed him. So Rabbi Yochanan says that the word vayakom implies that he was lying down, and vayakom is that then he got up. So he gives the background as follows: that actually Hevel was stronger than Cain, and when what Hevel did was that he threw in the struggle that they had between them. So Hevel got the upper hand, and what he did was he was able to cast Cain onto the ground and almost like sit on him like wrestlers. And then Cain said to him, "You know what? There's only two of us in the world, and if you kill me, so what you're going to say to our parents? I mean, they'll know that there's only two of us. That if I'm dead, it must be because you killed me. So what type of victory are you going to have over me? And you're going to cause our parents such grief." So Hevel Bemet, what he did was, he seemed logical to him. He accepted what Cain was saying, and he released him. So then what happens is that after he released him, and after he is now on the ground, pinned to the ground, so now it says Vayakom Cain, that Cain now got up, and what he did was he killed Hevel. So the Midrash ends off that paragraph and says as follows: from this whole episode, and from the word vayakom, which sort of gives exactly the background and tells us how exactly it happened that Cain then he got the upper hand and killed his brother. So it says, the Midrash says, min taman inu namrin. From this very Midrash, what we learn is tav lebishla ta'aved or bishla yematelach. Tav, it's in Aramaic. Tav lebish lo ta'avid. Don't do a favor. Don't do good to an evil person. And if you do a good to an evil person, then in the end, that evil will befall you, right? And then you're just going to perpetuate the evil. So that's exactly what the Midrash is saying. The Midrash is saying is that, Cain said, you have to have pity on me, because if what you do is you kill me or you injure me, what you're going to say to our parents? So of course, he does like a favor to his brother, and then the brother goes now and kills him. So that's what the Midrash is saying. You don't do good to evil people. And that's the problem always that has been in Israel and in the West. You take murderous, evil people like the Hamas and the PLO and others, and what you do is we relate to them as if we count to them, we open up jobs for them, we allow the crossings in Gaza for people to, in fact, in one of the wars, while the war was carrying on, while the war and Hamas was sending rockets to Israel in Tel Aviv hospital was treating one of the relatives of the head of Hamas. That's how absurd it is. That's how the absurdity of goodness in its wrong place, right? What it can cause. Still until now, this is how Israel treated the people, or not only Hamas, even the murderous people of the PLO. That yes, they're okay. We have to understand them. We have to like one of the Israeli thinkers, every single terrorist needs what he really actually needs is he needs some sort of hug. Yeah, believe it or not, that's what one of the Israeli in inverted commas intellectuals said, as if the reason that they do terrorism has got nothing to do with their cruelty, but because of they just happen to be miskainim, like people who are poor, people who are like downtrodden. And in the end, what happens is that this confidence, this type of trust that we have in those type of people, this type of tolerance for those type of people, it backfires. And now look what happened now. In one day, 1,250 people were murdered in the most barbaric fashion in one day. So that's what we learned from this inyan of Chaim and Hevel. One of the many, many lessons that we learned is that when we deal with evil, we can't use, so to speak, we mustn't allow them to take advantage of our type of humanity, but we have to treat them exactly like with the same ruthlessness, because and then when we treat them with that ruthlessness, then the good overcomes the evil. And that's what we pray for now. We pray that hopefully that this time everyone will see the true colors, which actually people already knew deep down, that that's exactly how they are, and that good will triumph over evil, and that we daven that our soldiers should be safe, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should protect them, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should give wisdom to the politicians and to those who are the leaders, that they able to do the to run the war in a way which will bring us a victory and good, right, to the world. So yes, this is our prayers, that the HaKadosh Baruch Hu should look after the Chayalim, should look after the Shvuyim, and that all the captives, all the people who were kidnapped, all the people who are captives, that the prisoners of war and others, that they should come back to Eretz Yisrael safe and sound. Shabbat Shalom lekulam.